everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Hope you guys are having a great day. I haven't been on here in a couple of days, so I just want to come on and say hello. I hope you've having a great week so far. It's only Tuesday, but that's okay. That's okay. So this is gonna be a video. It's not a live, just a video, just to catch up with what's going on. My schedule is a little crazy, so I haven't been doing haven't had a chance to do a live in a couple of days. But I wanted to just catch up on what's going on in the world of Sussex. It's all about Spare. Spare is like, it's beyond even my wildest imagination about what Spare is. So it's amazing. But anyway, before we get to that, as you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, all of us here at Sussex Squad. Welcome. Welcome to the world of Spare. Prince Harry Spare. And this evening, we learned the wonderful news. Of course, we knew this was happening. It's number one in the world right now, in the world of books. Nonfiction books. It's all about Spare. And so this evening, Random House Group posted this, and it was just like, yes, of course we knew it would happen. Of course it's going to be the New York Times #1 bestseller, but it's just wonderful to see it. So Random House Group posted this today. Spare by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is an instant #1 New York Times bestseller. We are proud to publish this landmark book and to help share Prince Harry's story in his own words. And I'm like, yes, congratulations. Officially, Prince Harry. We always knew you'd be a #1 bestseller, New York Times #1 bestseller. But, it's so funny. Someone posted this picture of a little boy, Harry, and it's like this little tiny itty bitty person has grown up to be a New York Times #1 bestseller. And also, obviously, we know, but now both him and Meghan are #1 New York Times #1 bestsellers, because we remember, what was it, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, Meghan Bench was a New York Times bestseller, #1 bestseller as well. So we have 2 New York Times #1 bestsellers in the house. So kudos. It's just so exciting. I mean, Spare talk about, I knew it would be successful, but it's just gone way beyond what I imagined. And it's just so wonderful to see, and more people discovering it. And one of the wonderful things about it is the reviews from, credible reviewers, and they are all commending the book like it's so good, especially the audio. Everybody's like, yeah, get the audio. The audio is awesome. Hearing Harry narrate his own book is really amazing. I love it. And so many different people from all walks of life. I even heard a podcast today where it looks like they usually talk about sports books and stuff, and they were talking about Spare, and it's just, they were raving about it. And so everywhere I look, when you talk about credible reporters and credible reviewers, they're all commending Spare. And so it's just really, really, I am just so happy for him, that it's not just some salacious book, but it's a book that is beautiful and thought out and deep and funny and crazy and just all this madness. But then, the crux of it is someone who is dealing with and overcoming grief. And so I just really love that. And as I said, Irish Time book says Prince Harry autobiography Spare becomes Ireland's fastest selling nonfiction book. Of course. And Forbes says Prince, and that's, Forbes is, I think, Rupert Murdoch's paper in the US. Forbes says Prince Harry Square continues record-breaking run. It's now the UK's best-selling memoir in the first week sales. And it's like, yes, it is running away. And this how much is This is how much it is running away from everyone else. I mean, you know, the nearest competitor to him was a 2013 book by Alex Ferguson called My Autobiography, and that was 115,547. Harry's is growing so fast. It's already sold 467,183. I mean, you think of on this list, you see Barack Obama. At this time, it sold 79,815. Again, this book has been selling like hotcakes, you know and it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And the Guardian jumped in the fray. It says Harry Spare is the fastest selling nonfiction book since the UK records began. There you go. Prince Harry's Spare has sold almost 500,000 copies in the UK in the first week of sale, first week on sale, making it the making it the fastest selling nonfiction book since records began. According to Nielsen, Spare sold a total of 467,183 print copies to UK retailers in the first week of release, making it the number one book on the charts. This does not include the ebook sales or audiobook copies. Penguin Random House PRH UK said the book has sold 750,000 copies in and across UK across all formats, which are hardbacks, ebooks, audiobooks. It is in its first week. Oh, it sold that in its first week, and of these, 400,000 copies were on its first day of sale in the UK. So no matter what they want to say in the UK, Spare selling. And if you look at this, and Apple charts, just right over my head, my little avatar there, you'll see Spare is number one in Apple Books. It's also number one in the Netherlands, as you can see on the right. Let's just get my little scrolly out of there. If you are new here and you have not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and do so and click the notification bell at the bottom so that you know when we drop a video. But as you can see on the right, Prince Harry's memoir also selling great in the Netherlands. It is number one bestseller in the Netherlands this week. And it's just so fantastic. And in France, Prince Harry's book, I don't know how you say it, Les Suppliants. I don't know. I'm just making up. I have no idea. I don't speak French. And I don't know how these things are pronounced, but it says Prince Harry's Les Suppliants, published by Fayad, sold 85,000 copies between Tuesday, December 10th, when it was published, and Saturday, January 14th, according to figures from JFK. But when you go further into it, it says on the right, it says printed 210,000 copies at first. Les Suppliants has already been reprinted from the first day of sales in 50,000 copies, then in 30,000 copies, and finally, again, 50,000 copies this Thursday. This therefore represents 130,000 withdrawals in 3 days. So 130,000 sold in 3 days. So again, that is in France. And then, the booksellers basically is, reiterating again, Prince Harry's book storms into the UK official top 50 number one spot. There you go. So the top 50 list is now the number one spot, selling 467,183 print copies, making the fastest selling nonfiction book of all time. Transworld Book says the memoir has sold 750,000 copies across all formats. And one of the wonderful things that I've seen, one of our squaddies posted this from Amazon, is the ratings. 4.5 stars for for spare. And I guess the overwhelming amount of positive has drowned out the negativity of the derangers who normally go on these places and leave bad reviews and 1 star. So the fact that it is 4.5 stars out of 5, ooh, they have drowned out the derangers. So kudos, Prince Harry, #1, yes. And this is I read this review from Alex B. Can from Quest Media Network. And it's really cool. I mean, again, you find these reviews about the book, and they all had great things to say about the book. It was very positive, very balanced, nothing fawning or anything like that. They called out a couple of things that they didn't really particularly care for, but on a whole, the reviews very, very, very fair, very balanced. And I really, that's what you'd ask for from a reporter. You don't need sycophants. You just need people who are fair and balanced. And so he said, my take on Prince Harry, having completed the audiobook read by the author this lunchtime. It is in print tomorrow, in tomorrow's news Insta media. And so at the bottom it says, and I'm totally aware how you might be reading this in disbelief and think Harry is privileged, cosseted from reality, bitter and on a revenge mission against the family. And I think he's spoken his truth as he sees it, and hopes doing so was cathartic for him. The Queen was respectfully and fondly spoken about in the epilogue, even as he learned. Even as we learn, Harry found out about her passing from a BBC News alert on his phone. I love some of the little details about Harry and Meghan's early dates, and I can't imagine what life must be like to constantly be chased by photographers hoping to provoke a reaction and make money from the resulting pictures. Whatever your royal view, I defy you to read this book and not feel for Harry on a purely human level. I hope he has found happiness and peace in America. And so it's a whole long review. I'll put the link in the show notes so that way you can have it. But yeah, it's a good and very fair and balanced review, and I like that. And Amazon Books was today trying to get our thoughts. It's like, whether you're on page 1 or 100, what are your thoughts about Prince Harry's memoir? Spare so far. Let us know in the replies. And so I will put the link in the show notes if you want to go ahead and reply. If you have Twitter, and you can go ahead and reply and, about what your thoughts about the book. And then our book list, they did a review, and it's just a little piece of the review at the bottom. It says, love him or hate him, you're bound to find something to savor in this audio that ends with a calming background piano music. So yeah, there's so many things about this book that I love. I even got emotional reading the credits or the thank yous at the back. It was just like, oh my gosh, I am literally crying and at least misting and reading the credits. It's crazy. And this is very interesting. The Northland Advocate, I want to think this is from New Zealand, I think. Says the Northlanders line up to borrow Prince Harry's memoir Spare from Republic Library. It says Prince Harry's memoir Spare is proven to be popular in Northland as waiting lists for the controversial tome grows to the region public libraries. The Duke of Sussex's book, released last Tuesday, is full of revelations and that include how his brother William pushed him during an argument, and abuse and the alleged racism against his wife Meghan. Despite Spare causing plenty of public consternation, it has become an international bestseller. However, the price tag of up to $65, many are turning to their local libraries to get their hand on a copy. The spokesperson for the region's largest library, Whangarei District Library, said all of 4 copies of of its copies of Spare were loaned out, and the 62 people were already on the waiting list as of Monday. It's crazy. I mean, all over I hear people have these long waiting lists for Spare. And again, times are hard in certain countries, so I understand if you don't have to purchase it and you're able to get it from the library, why not? Save your money for food or something. So it's good to see that people are really excited to read it, really excited to, even if you're borrowing it from a library, to really be able to see and to understand Harry's perspective and his life, really. So that's kudos. And then this popped up today. David Beard from Nat Geo, he is the writer editor of newsletter from Nat Geo or National Geographic. And so he posted this today. He says, a spare recounts Prince Harry has long been on a mission to remove unexploded mines from southern Africa of Okavango region. And we remember how we talked about the Okavango a lot with him and Mike and Tej. And so it was really, great to see this, because this is an article from 2019. I think David Beard also wrote this. It says, early one morning in late September, the hum of the metal detectors filled the air in the sparse field. A man with a plastic shield, a plastic face shield, and blue armored vest is crouched down near the ground, scanning the one over a meter wide lane. He carefully marks the clear path with red paint sticks. Inside is safe. Outside is potentially dangerous. It's potentially deadly. He worked with the former battlefield. He works in the former battlefield in a remote, often in a remote corner of southern Angola, where rebel troops staged their final clashes at the end of civil war nearly 2 decades ago. Today, it is heavily mined. It's a heavily mined national park, peering over the dimmer shoulders of Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. And it's again, this was an article, is 2019, where Harry, obviously, when he and Meghan were in South Africa, and then Harry went off by himself to visit different organizations, including CamFed. One of the things that we remember, as we remember in that picture on the top right, is Harry in Angola, walking the path as Princess Diana walked. And it was so moving and so touching. But yeah, he talks a lot about, what they've been able to get from Botswana. And then Mike, pulled him aside and said, you've gotten a lot from the bush, but now it's time for you to give back. And so to shine a light on what's happening in the Okavango. So I'm glad Harry picked it up, and the Halo Trust, which is the charity that go around demining place, and so it was just really cool that to see him reference this article and tweeted about this article today. So cool beats. And Spotify made me laugh. Spotify was like, wait a minute, we gotta get in on this. Why should Penguin Random House get all the glory? Let's jump in the fray as well. And Harry, you can listen to Prince Harry's memoir Spare in his own words right there on Spotify. You just have to pay for it, and you can listen to it via Spotify. And so I just love this. I love how Spotify was like, we're not getting left out of this. Netflix was doing the same thing with the Heart of Invictus. They're like, this is hot. We're not gonna get left out. So Spotify jumps in there. It's just like, look at us. So I love it. And also, oh my goodness, I'm just realizing I pulled in this and then forgot to pull in the rest. Harry and Meghan docuseries is there. It's still going. It's still in the top 10 of quite a few countries. It is there, and people are loving it, and they're putting two and two together from this, from the docuseries to the book. And so it is just really fantastic to see, hey, Harry and Meghan docuseries is still there doing great things, doing fantastic things, and especially for countries where people don't yet have spare, they have this. And so it is wonderful. And one of the places that it's in the top 10 is the United Kingdom. The UK. So no matter what they say, their people are purchasing this and they are watching. So it is wonderful to see. And look who's in California, Nissan Harriman. Nissan is a great friend of Harry and Meghan. So if he's in California, he is visiting them. So Nissan, he says, what a gorgeous campus. It was a pleasure to speak at the USC and USGA Annenberg today. And so we know that that Nissan will be hanging out with his friends in California. It's a beautiful thing to see. Anyways, moving on from there, we saw this happen in the beginning of January when the Shameless Offensive tour with Tate and William in Jamaica. What a mess that was. And so we had heard this promise from the Jamaica government and Prime Minister Andrew Holness that Jamaica is going to be moving forward and that they are going to be, making sure that they become a republic in his time. And so today, and then they kind of dropped it and we were like, where are you? And so Caribbean News Network reports today that the government says it will be moving with haste and alacrity towards transforming the island into a republic. And it goes on to say it's time that Jamaica become a republic. For us, the process is not simple, and we have known from the start on the journey that we'll be making sure that we check every box as we move deliberately in that regard, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says. And then the other clip says Andrew Holness says that while the process is sometimes while the process is something he inherited, he never expected it to be a straight line. He is urging Legal Affairs and Constitutional Affairs Minister Marley Malahu Forth to please move ahead with speed on this matter. So Andrew Holness is not playing. He is looking to get out. He already sees what's happening in Barbados, and he's like, nah, we're getting out. So kudos to him. For me, this should have been started last year, but hey, it is what it is. And so I am very, very, very happy to see I'm very, very happy to see Jamaica taking this step. So yeah, kudos to our peeps in Jamaica. And switching topic again. I'm telling you, life sure comes at you fast. And of course, we all know Andrew Tate messing with Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg is sitting at home minding her business, and Andrew Tate had to go and harass her, and then Karma stepped in. And the story. Hey, Greta Thunberg, I have 33 cars. My Bugatti is 16.8 OL Quad Turbo. My 2 Ferraris, 812 competition, and all the other stuff is car speak, which I don't speak. And then he's like, provide me your email, I can send you about the emission, And so we know what happened after that. The next day, he got arrested, him and his brother, and they've been in jail. And if that's not bad enough, Reuters reported today that Romanian authorities seized 4 million of assets, including luxury vehicles and watches, as part of a criminal inquiry into the alleged human trafficking that led to arrest of internet and personal that led to the arrest of internet personality Andrew Tate. So it's interesting. It is very interesting, how life just comes at you and tags you with things, and it's just like, wow. I'm telling you, karma is no joke. So Andrew Tate, he's going to be in there for a while. And while they are possessing all of his cars and assets and all that stuff, I would not want to be you. Anyways, we want to end this with something inspirational. This person is definitely a Sussex supporter, but I don't know where this is. But she says, first day of school today for my child, and guess what I saw in the hallway? A pic of Meghan Markle. So happy when I saw her pic, and you can see Meghan at the bottom among the list of inspiration on the wall. You have Stephen Bantu, Biko, Viola Davis, Trevor Noah, and you get the sense this is all like South African people, but obviously, Meghan is not, well, not really, because you have Mahatma Gandhi and others there as well. So, but it's just exciting that on the inspirational wall, Meghan is there. So very, 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 very interesting. And yes, back to Harry. As we can see, the number one in the most read charts, and the second one, number one in the most sold books. Harry is just, Spare has just dominated every single aspect of the charts and everything, and has turned it on its head. So, yep, number one most read and number one most sold on Amazon charts. So, yes, Prince Harry, congratulations. I am so happy, so, so very, very happy that this little boy, this motherless little boy, grow up to have his dreams, have the family he wants, to have the wife she's also part of his family, the life he wants, and now, hey, at number one New York Times best-selling book. It is just absolutely amazing. I want Harry to be nominated and win a Nobel Peace Prize, whether for this or Invictus, something, because he's doing great, great things. So kudos to Prince Harry. I absolutely, absolutely love it. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's all I got for this. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, taking the time to watch this. And I've so busy and fast doing this that I realized I didn't even bring out my credits. So thank you so much to Lydia, Church Nelly, Cookies and Cream, Karen M, who are always on our in the chat, making the chat safe. So this most likely won't have that, but also thank you for all the times that you've done. Thank you to our 2 cents crew who support the channel monthly, and to our wonderful supporters, Gold Star supporters who support the channel, whether it's PayPal, Cash App, merchandise, whether it's or any of the supers like super chat, super thanks, super stickers, any of those ways that you support us. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much for your support. That's it, guys. Thank you so much. I will be back on the live tomorrow, so I will see you then. Have a fantastic evening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.